What's going on, y'all? This episode of the podcast is kind of a lost episode, so to speak, with our process that we used to use for recording. It was still through the Rodecaster, but just kind of the transferring process was a little bit different than we do now. And in that process, I think the files either got corrupted or they weren't transferred correctly, got deleted, so on and so forth. And we weren't able to get that episode out. And knowing me, I got a little bit pissed off and frustrated with it, so I just kind of shelved it for a second. So when going back through and having a little bit more time to kind of look at that, I watched it and I realized we have some interesting and some funny little discussions on there. So I put some time into it and tried to mix it the best as I could and tried to salvage the audio that I could from it. So when listening or watching this episode or clip, just kind of take it with a grain of salt. I'll do my best to make sure that it's taken care of and all those little glitches are taken care of in the future. And I do want to say, from me and Jen, thank you very much to everyone who is new to our channel. We really appreciate the support and hope you like what you see and what you hear. To everyone who's been here for a while, do really appreciate your continued support and thank you for being here for a while. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and comment down below, and check out all of our other socials and all the other places to get different content. Go to solo.to/tilldeathpodcast for all of the links and all the ways to get more content from us. If you'd like to pick up some merch, go to teespring.com/stores/tilldeathpodcast and go support that Till Death Podcast merch. But yeah, thank you very much for all your support, guys, and enjoy the episode. Peace.
Hey, Twitter world.
Don't pet the llama.
A pangender octopus who roams the cosmos in search of love.
I'm never gonna look at butt plugs the same.
Apparently, ducks are rapists.
I'm really uncomfortable with this conversation.
Till Death Podcast. Brought to you by Till Death Studios and Violent Vibe Tribe. Hello. Cheers.
Sure, I can't cheers you. I have coffee.
Oh, you have coffee. I have some Ashland hard seltzer, the lime flavor.
Is the lime good?
It's all right. It tastes not like ass, so we're good.
Well, it's also not very cold, so it doesn't taste as good.
I mixed it with the lemonade, though.
Oh, yeah?
The Costco lemonade.
Oh, okay.
I mean, Kirkland. Is it Kirkland lemonade? Or
Kirkland.
Is it another brand?
Oh, no, it's... I don't know. I have no idea.
They could sneak a Kirkland logo in there somewhere and you wouldn't be able to notice.
I literally don't remember what lemonade it is, but it's good.
We buy it, twice a month and don't know what we're drinking. Anyways, guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the Till Death Podcast. I'm Ian.
I'm Jennifer.
There we go. And we have some new camera placements, some new angles. Got a new camera. Got a Canon M50 Mark II. Anyone that doesn't know about cameras probably doesn't care about that part, but yeah, it's a pretty dang cool camera. Got that. It came with a little Rode mic to do some filming and some production. You don't care about what do you need?
No, I brought it. I figured it out.
You did? Okay. All right. Learning. So how you doing over there, guys? I might have just cut my hand off in the editing process right now. All right, I'm getting too nerdy. Sorry, guys. But yeah, anyways, we'll get into a little bit later about the new little venture that I've been starting in the past couple of weeks. And before we get into that, make sure you check out Debt Advisors of America. Phone number right here at the bottom of the screen somewhere. I'm still a jackass and have not memorized the phone number. I probably should do that, right?
It's okay. It took me 2 years to know your phone number, so.
Well, yeah, but that's a weird thing now. You don't have to know phone numbers because we got cell phones. How many numbers do you know?
I know my parents' home number because that was always my home number. I know my mom's cell phone number. Barely yours. Barely yours.
Do it. I'll bleep it out.
Your number is So your number, if you had to bleep it up.
Oh yeah, well, don't worry.
It took me a while to know yours. You're the newest. You're the last couple of years.
Well, yeah, exactly.
So
the last bit
so
of
it literally
information.
goes, I know my parents' home number, so my home number, my grandma's home number, my mom's cell phone, your cell phone, and my work phone, and that's it.
Makes sense. I know mine. I know my dad's. I know my mom's. I know Ron's. Yeah. And yours.
Your sister?
I don't know my sister or Patches by heart. I don't. But then again, when my sister got a phone, I was in Austin already, so it's not like I was around all the time, and it's not like
Yeah.
and I wasn't the best brother or, son. I didn't always stay in touch.
Well, so I know all of my family, since we all got phones together on the family plan through Verizon, we all had the same phone number, but at one different digit.
Yeah.
So like, the first three of mine,
Yeah.
that's my mom's. And then my sister, before she moved, hers, my mom's is 2735. My sister's is 2734.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I think my mom and Ron, like a while ago, maybe not now, but one of them was like 4773 and one of them was 5773. Makes sense. And it was
My
like
dad,
709.
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Sorry, Dad.
All right, there's probably a lot of bleeping that just happened through all of that. But anyways, no? Anything else?
Nah, that's the only numbers I know.
Yeah, it's just weird.
And
You don't really
Starbucks. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, wow. So anyways, guys, make sure you check out the Violent Vibe Tribe. There's a lot of stuff going on with Nick. He's kind of switching gears right now. You can go ahead and check out his website. I believe it should be up by the time this episode comes out. No, but he's just kind of retooling stuff. I like the idea that he's going with. It just needs to, once he gets it all going and together. So we didn't want to, send too many people his way, because we have millions. So we decided we're just gonna kind of chill back until he gets that all squared away, and then don't worry, we will have some cool little ads for you. I promise. I got cool ideas for what I think we can do with it, and I'm still getting into more stuff that we'll get into a little bit later. But anyways, so go check them out. All right, so getting into it. What do you want to go with first there, baby?
Are you expecting me to read that far away?
I figured I'd just test you.
Come on.
I'm going to use DuckDuckGo, which is a new, I told you about it, but all you did was make fun of me. If anyone doesn't know, DuckDuckGo is a cool alternative to Google, because if you look up a lot of Google searches, and I kind of tried it earlier today, it filters out certain articles, or doesn't show you all the information. It's not like a most clicked on, this is kind of what we want to show you search links, especially.
Which is unfortunate because I have a Google phone.
Yeah, exactly. Your Google phone sucks. I mean, it's amazing.
I like my phone. It's just unfortunate that it's by Google.
Yeah.
But then again, everything is either run by Google, Amazon,
Yeah.
or.
It was interesting. It was interesting.
Elon Musk.
They're hating him right now because he's about to be on SNL. But by the time this is up, it's
Why is that bad?
Because he's a billionaire and everyone hates billionaires, and they're tweeting at him, quoting Bernie Sanders, saying billionaire, billionaire, billionaire. And they just, anyone that.
Do you know how many people are buying a Tesla every minute?
Yeah. Well, it's like, yeah, but he's also furthering a lot of things. Like, yeah, he's a billionaire, but I mean, what is he doing? He's building stuff to go to Mars and do space and all this technology and electric cars and all this. Like, he's a pretty And he's a pretty funny dude. Like,
He's weird.
I know you think he's weird, but I just
I have nothing against him. Like I don't care less. He earned that money.
Yeah.
He's just a weird dude.
No, he's a weirdo. He's totally got the tism.
Yeah.
He's got the.
Yeah. He's got the capital A. All right, look it up. We decided to figure out
That's why. Okay.
what is the history
And
of 69.
yeah, what the history of 69 is, and the reason why I brought up DuckDuckGo was because it started with ducks. No, I'm just kidding. It's because do you know they only have one hole?
Yes, we've discussed this.
We have discussed this. We've discussed ducks on this podcast, but I don't know about the one hole.
Yes, you have talked to me
Sorry.
about that.
Squirrel moments. Yeah, it's been a minute since we've done this. Okay, but yeah, no, DuckDuckGo is a cool alternative to search for, so you can find actually what you're looking for instead of just what you're supposed to, whatever. Anyways, yeah. So.
Oh, look, the battery's actually working in the clock.
It is?
I've tried like 4 batteries today, and they died.
Yeah,
Immediately.
It's a little ridiculous.
It's this room.
Are you saying this room's haunted? Because we told
I
ghost
think
stories?
I think so.
Great, thanks, Dan. What does 69? Oh, the history of 69.
The history of 69.
I was like, I know I worded it correctly.
Okay, where am I looking? Oh, there it is. Okay, I see where I'm supposed to be looking.
Oh, I know we're supposed to be eating healthy, but it was cheat day today and we just had Del Taco.
Oh, yeah, and I just tried their new, I don't know what it was. It was kind of like the Taco Bell Mexican pizza, but 1 layer. It was really super good. You look confused over there.
I'm...
Maybe we don't want to know what the history is.
Let me see. I'm gonna look up Wikipedia. Wikipedia isn't always the most. I got interesting things on. Well, that you guys have to see what I'm. Screenshot. Hold on. Fucking Wikipedia, dude.
That's on Wikipedia?
That's Wikipedia.
They give instructions on how?
69 or 69. Oh, it's the word or the number.
Oh, okay.
I was like, also known by its French name, not gonna try it. That's not what it is. Actually, I'm not trying to pronounce that. So
it makes, oh my god, blah, 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 I can't talk. It makes sense that it's French.
It's a group,
A group?
is a group of sex positions.
Huh?
There's only,
It's a position.
okay, I guess there's different ones. Oh, I mean, I guess woman on top, man on top. I mean, I guess that's 2 different things, but it's still just 69, right?
Yeah, I'm confused, but okay.
Is that 69 with like carry the 2 over here? Like the 2.
Alright, okay. Just get to the history, please.
If you thought that this wasn't going to turn into a dirty conversation talking about 69, then that's on you. Okay, it's a group of sex positions in which 2 people align themselves so that each person's mouth is near the other's genitals, like on, sucking.
Continue.
Each simultaneously performing oral sex on the other.
I'm not reading this.
The participants are thus mutually inverted, like the numerals 6 and 9 in the number 69. Hence the name. This position can involve any combination of sexes.
Well, we know what it is. That's the definition. Where's the history?
Oh, there's the history. I just wanted to make you feel awkward for a second. Mutual simultaneous Origentalism. Under history, it's like the second line, I think. Origentalism, right?
Oh, that's the new kind of metal music.
Oh, or gentle. I get it. There we go. I thought it was going to be like the new gender thing. So mutual simultaneous origentalism. Why is it orange? But that's not even orange. There's no
Continue.
Is usually referred to in English under the euphemistic French numerical form sointe neuf. The term that's what I said I wasn't going to try earlier, has not been traced any earlier than the Whore's Catechisms. Catechisms. Catechisms.
Wow. Wow.
It's like, hey, you want?
Can you please continue?
Okay, it's been traced any earlier than the Horse Catechisms, published in the 1790s in France, usually attributed to the early leader of the French Revolution, Millet, M-L-L-E, I don't know. The earliest unequivocal representation of the 69 appears to be that on an oil lamp preserved in the Munich Museum and first reproduced in Dr. Gaston Vorberg's portfolio. Showing the woman lying on top of the man.
So early 1700s.
Yeah, 1790s.
Late
1790s in France.
Figures it would be France.
A Hindu temple sculpture from the sacred caverns of the island of Elephanta near Mumbai in India, showing this position with the man actually standing and holding the woman hanging down in this form on his shoulders, was brought to England in the late 18th century, so late, pretty much 1790s. This sculptured fragment is both discussed and illustrated in Richard Payne Knight's A Discourse on the Worship of Priapus, privately issued for the Dilettante Society of London in 1786. There we go. Anything else? The Kama Sutra mentions this sex position, albeit by a different name, when a man and a woman lie down in inverted order, i.e. with the head of one towards the feet of the other, and carry on mouth congress, is called the Congress of a Crow. So this is episode Congress of the Crow. Just found the title.
Wow.
Cunnilingus, fellatio, and analingus. Those are C also.
Oh.
Thank you.
All right, so, okay, we're good.
Yep. Anyways, okay, so what we need to do is put a little mic right there out the window so we can hear whatever's going on there, and it actually kind of records it. It's kind of funny. I think that would be funny just to catch it.
Something's gonna go on tonight.
Was it a full moon?
No, it was a full moon.
Oh, yeah, probably. But it was a little crazy right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so, anything else you want to do on the history of 69? I think.
Nope, I thought I'd be more interested in that.
Yeah, I figured it was something to do
So
with.
it's just dirty France.
Yeah. Fucking dirty.
Mumbai.
Yeah, exactly. I was going to say it's probably something having to do with curry. Okay, Joe Biden.
Come on, man!
Well, seeing as we already started off something a little dirty, we were talking last night. Was it last night?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was before I went to bed last night. And we were talking about the word fuck. And how it's actually a pretty amazing word. Like, it sucks because it's considered a curse word, which we were trying to figure out, like, all that without using Google. We were just trying to, talk it out. We probably sounded like idiots, but, I mean, I think it's a good word. It explains so many things.
Mm-hmm. And it's just funny because, I was saying that people don't believe in using curse words, but it's just a word, and that's what drives me nuts.
Yeah.
With everything nowadays.
It's like, and then I was saying, I get it to a point. Like, wanting to be as, why, like a Christian or a religious thing is, trying to be godly or trying to be, as perfect, as you can. I guess that's,
There are some slutty women out there, though, but that are all Christian.
Oh, yeah. Well, but then,
But heaven forbid you say fuck.
Well, yeah, exactly. There's so many fine lines, but then, just like with anyone, there's lines that you have that you draw, that you cross and you don't, like there's, it's just like anything else. It's like drinking or, like that that show that we were watching when we were eating them, with crack. Everyone has decisions.
Crack.
Some people say fuck. Some people mainline heroin.
And end up with no teeth.
Or braces. That one guy had bottom braces, and I couldn't.
Yeah, and he had the biggest like mouth. Like his lips were ginormous.
Yeah.
And he's not the ethnicity you're thinking right now.
No.
Dirty.
You guys are fucked up and very racist for thinking.
I'm just saying he was a
Hispanic.
brown individual
Yes.
with the biggest lips ever. Oh my god. But yeah, he had braces on the bottom. So like everyone who's had braces, I had braces for a year when I was like in 7th grade. And I just remember I felt like my lips were like because those stupid things. See, I wasn't like the rich kids of today that get Invisalign. I actually had real braces.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Where I could change the bands out as I pleased. So every time I went back
colors?
Oh yeah.
Did you ever get like rainbow or any like interesting multicolored ones, or was it just always like one color?
That I don't remember, to be honest. I don't remember specifics. I could have. I think I generally went with a dark blue, and then dark blue is what I always went with as my default. And then for the holidays for that year, then I believe I changed them up for the holidays.
Oh.
But
sounds fun.
They sucked. At least it was only a year.
Yeah.
And it was only on the top. I didn't have them on the bottom.
My teeth are perfect, so.
Yeah. Okay.
They are not. This joke.
You can get braces as an adult.
You can go fuck yourself.
My dad had braces as an adult. My dad had braces probably when he was in his 40s.
I am going.
Oh my god, that's weird to think about.
Yep. I am not.
I mean, that's like a decade away from me, but.
Yeah, you got some time. But I mean, I'm going to be a respectful son-in-law and not give him shit on a podcast. I'll just give him shit to his face about it.
Because his parents couldn't afford braces when he was a kid.
Mm-hmm.
So, as an adult, he got to pay for them.
Yeah. I wonder if you could, eat the peanuts on the rope.
Oh, I know. What was up with that? All of us heard peanuts.
Yes, exactly. All of us heard peanuts. What were we talking about? Did he say peanuts on a rope?
We were talking about a bar. And he's talking about like the
bar?
Peanuts on the bar, like an old school bar that would have nuts, and they would say like, don't eat the nuts in the bowl at the bar because they're probably the dirtiest. We were over at my parents' house last weekend, and it was my mom and then both of us, and all three of us swore my dad said penis on a rope. We were like, what? We were in mid-conversation, but he said peanuts in the bowl.
That makes sense.
When it came out on the bar.
Yeah, that makes sense.
That whole night was hilarious because we kept hearing things, and I'm like, no, you said that.
And if you've listened to us at all, then you know that any type of dirty joke, we'll take it and run with it, and continuously make people uncomfortable, like I did with you earlier. 69. But no, that was good. That was some good.
But anyway, going back to the original, the crack. The dude with the big lips and the braces.
Yes.
Yeah, I learned about crack tonight.
Yeah.
I had no idea what the difference between cocaine and crack was.
Mm-hmm.
Now I know.
We saw the amount of money you can make from it, so voila, that's our new business.
So our new business is going to be till death, which makes sense for crack.
Love us. Till death.
Crack till death.
Till death crack.
Till death crack.
More of like a
TDC.
Exactly.
It's like THC, but TDC instead.
There we go. I like that.
Oh, you thought you were ordering THC.
Yeah, we're gonna become crack dealers. We're gonna turn this into a trap house.
Come and knock on your door. You'll be waiting for me.
That sounds so evil. I really, really want to do something weird. Your voice on that one. Come on.
You know what that's from, right?
Yeah.
Okay, that was one of my favorite shows to watch. Three's Company.
Okay, yeah.
I freaking love that show.
Yeah, it was.
So funny.
I liked some other. Was it 70s? Yeah. Was it 70s or 80s? That was 7.
I think it's 70s.
Yeah, there were some other 70s ones that I liked a little bit more, but that one was funny. Like all the Naked Night stuff. I always liked watching all that. But yeah, no, we watched it. What was it just the crack? What was it called? I think it was just called crack.
A Netflix documentary. And I think literally it was just called Cocaine.
Was it called Cocaine? Because I know there's one that's like Cocaine Cowboys or something like that. I forgot the Wikipedia was up and it was just a cartoon of people blowing each other. I was like, oh my god!
But no, it was really interesting because they're saying that in the 80s, cocaine was the drug of essentially white people, and the inner city couldn't afford it, so hence crack came about.
Crack, cocaine, corruption, and conspiracy. Yeah, it was kind of crazy. I was watching on there. It was after you had left. They were saying that New York cops were just shaking down drug dealers and taking their drugs as like a part of a bust, and then just taking them and selling them themselves. So they would, making money off of it.
Damn.
Yeah.
So everyone was in on the crack.
There was a bust in New Jersey. It might have been New York. No, I think it was New York, but they were saying that 371 officers were arrested and indicted for illegal drug use. It's crazy.
It's New York for you.
Yeah, I mean, it's always been kind of crazy.
I would never want to live in New York.
And then Giuliani came in, and he was an awesome mayor.
And he cleaned
it up, made Times Square like a family area, and then we got De Blasio in New York City, and he's killing it. And Cuomo is, as Andrew Schultz likes to call him, the chip nipple sauce monkey. I know you don't get it, but it's just too good. Anyways, but yeah, I don't know where we're going with that one.
No.
What do we do?
Just filling in.
Chip nipple sauce.
There is something else I was going to talk about, but I don't feel comfortable with the window being open. If you get what I'm talking about.
Okay. Yeah. So let's take a break real quick, guys, and we'll get back to you in a second. Being comfortable with violence is a must nowadays. Whether it's in a parking lot, a store, at school, church, Kenosha, car lot, middle of the
1,
street.
2, and 3.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. If you're faced with
4,
violence,
5, 6.
Wow, Offspring.
Yeah.
That's the loudest concert I've ever been to, actually.
Oh, okay.
Which is kind of...
Ixnay the Hombre, favorite album. Okay, go ahead.
Pretty fly for a half white guy. If you're faced with violence, be calm, be confident, and be comfortable. From the mat to the field, in comfort, there is confidence. Have both with Violent Vibe Tribe. We got to figure out this little ad read a little bit. Got to work it around. But basically... you got to have that violent vibe about you. It doesn't mean be violent towards people. You just know that you always got to...
be prepared.
Be prepared. Keep on your toes.
Be like Rittenhouse.
Keep your eyes peeled. I never got that terms.
Peeled.
This is like onions.
Open.
Oh, yeah, but is that peeled? It's not like you're... not peeled back, I guess. I don't know. Basically, just always know your surroundings. Always know what's going on, because especially nowadays with all the stuff going on, there's shit can pop off, man, and shit can get crazy, and you could find yourself at a Travis Scott concert, or hanging out with Alec Baldwin. But anyways, go check out violentvibetribe.com and use the promo code TD20 for 20% off your entire order. And Till Death Studios and Violent Vibe Tribe are going to be doing a sweet collab on a little sticker pack. So stay tuned on all that, and I'll definitely be finger blasting the...
I'm going with guns.
Damn it.
You're a little slow over there.
Dwight, you ignorant slut!
Yeah, but make sure you check out all that, and we're gonna be doing that sticker pack, and so check out all the social medias for all that info. And speaking of social medias, at violent_vibe_tribe, to go like and share and subscribe and follow them and diddle them, all the things. But yeah, go check them out. Again, Violent Vibe Tribe. Make sure you keep your eyes peeled.
Try to relax your anus.
Be a banana.
I'm a banana. Do you remember that video?
No.
Oh, I have so many good things to share. Yeah, so go check it out. And and Nick Wright also is the owner of the company. So, and he's been on our podcast a couple times. So go check out one of the episodes. Later. So
We're celebrating
we
today.
are celebrating.
So we had to close the window.
We did.
Because our loud neighbors are moving out right this minute.
Yes, they are.
We put so much brain power into making other things happen.
It's like the secret of
Yeah.
getting shitty neighbors.
Well, so I was telling you earlier, so like obviously we live in a condo. We're 2-story and we have an in unit, and so we share one wall with another in unit, and their living quarters is just all upstairs, whereas ours is downstairs and upstairs. So, and I believe the stairs that go from the garage up to their living area is all wooden stairs, not carpeted.
Yeah.
So no matter who has lived over there, they've been loud. They are definitely by far the loudest because they're tall former basketball players. Is that right?
Australian is one
Yeah.
of Australian. This is how I deal with it.
I mean, literally, it's so loud with everything they do. Like, it's like, stomp, 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 stomp up the stairs throughout the day and night. And then, and then you can always tell when one's going to run out to get the mail because they run down the stairs as fast as possible. So, stomp, 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 really loud. Mm-hmm. They slam doors, slam cabinets. Maybe that's when they're fighting. Because they told us they were fighting.
Yeah, because, okay, so the only real conversation that we've had with them, I had one separate other conversation which wasn't weird or anything like that. I think it was helping, or was that the time that we helped her out, that we talked to her? Was that the time? Or was it another separate time that I helped her out with getting her garage or something?
I don't know. You've had more interaction with her.
But that wasn't the same time. It wasn't us helping her or something, right?
No,
we just ran into her. Okay.
Yeah.
No, we didn't help her. I didn't tell you. No, I mean, it was never weird interaction between us, but it's just like the living next to each other and hearing them. And then while we were talking, she was like, yeah, sorry if we're loud, like, sorry if you've ever heard us fighting. And in our heads, we're like, we never heard you fighting. You just stomped like you're fucking King Kong the whole time. But then we try and listen.
Yeah. Well, what's really awkward is, for the most part, like, you can't hear through the walls. It's not like a bad apartment complex where you can hear everything, because it's a condo, so I'm sure the walls are thicker or whatever.
Yeah. You can just hear them.
Yeah. But what's really hilarious is one of our bathrooms upstairs, we call it our Star Wars bathroom, it shares a wall with their living quarters. It is their kitchen.
I'm betting that I shit directly on the other side of their sink.
Yeah. So literally, they're frying up a steak, and he's taking a huge dump, which
I'm leaving his
I
steak.
find hilarious. So I've actually been in there, sitting on the toilet, and like about ready to wipe or whatever, and then all of a sudden you like hear dishes and stuff. I'm like, damn, I'm peeing in their kitchen right now. Like, that's what's happening right now. And it makes me laugh because I can actually hear them having a conversation. Almost to the point where I can make out the words.
Like, yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God, can they hear me peeing?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, probably.
Just saying, like, I wondered.
Well, because I know your thing about that.
Yeah, not having people listen to me pee.
Yeah.
Because then I can't pee. Yeah.
Exactly.
Because you freeze up, you're like, but I really gotta go. Go.
I know this because I'm a good husband and I give you shit for it.
Yeah. So,
But no, when the crazy lady, Bikini lady, and Turtle, when they were here, I could definitely make out sentences. Because she was loud.
Yeah, she was super loud and drunk.
Like loud and drunk and like the lady that you hear in the grocery store on the fucking speakerphone. That, but just always that person. She was a joy to be around.
But so like obviously right now.
Coming on my fucking patio for no reason.
Yeah, bitch.
Damn.
So we're just excited, but also scared because everyone that's lived there has rented.
Mm-hmm.
It's the end of the renters because the whole reason they're moving out is because they just moved in just this past year. I don't even think it's been a year. They moved in during 2020.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't work here for a year. I don't know. 2020 was a weird year.
Well, yeah, because I lost track of a lot of things. But so that means that they would have moved in right before all the riots.
Yeah.
Because the riots, the George Floyd thing was May 25th of last year.
Yeah, I honestly don't remember, but
yeah, right next to my birthday.
So the owners have decided to sell because the real estate market is on fire over here. So they basically sent them a notice that said they had to move out in 60 days because they decided to sell, so the lease was up. So I'm kind of scared because
we don't like them.
Well, I mean, actually, we could get renters because the person could buy it and then they decide to turn around and rent it out.
So we still could, but it's just like if it's people that buy it and live there, they could be there permanent.
Renters, or is it going to be one permanent people? Okay, and the good news is that yes, we're in a condo. We have a bigger unit. So I don't know. So but they don't have this size unit. They have a small unit that's equivalent to like a 1-bedroom apartment.
Yeah.
So a family can't.
Yeah.
It literally could only be an individual moving in or a couple
yeah.
because, unless they're so broke that a whole family lives in 1 bedroom, which I guess could happen, but.
I just saw in the news that in Houston there were reports of like a shit ton of people living in one house. So the cops went in there. Just take a guess. Just a wild guess of how many people were living in that one house.
Like a typical 1 bedroom.
It was like a house in Houston, so I'm guessing like 2 bedroom.
Let's say
3 bedroom.
A standard.
Yeah.
I don't know, 12 people.
90.
Holy shit.
There were 90.
Okay, each of you are entitled to your 1 square foot.
Like, I know that there's the whole joke with like Mexicans and clown car and like all that, but like, come on, man.
Bring up your phone. Let's do a quick calculation. So let's say your average house, let's just say 2,000 square foot. Okay. 2,000. Divided by 90.
2,000 divided by 90. 22.2222222.
Okay, so
that means you have 22 square feet per person.
22 square feet allocated per person. Let's see, your standard.
But square feet is.
Okay, so hold on.
Right? Okay.
So your standard room in your typical cookie cutter house is going to be
6, 7? No,
a 10 by 10. No more than a 12 by 12 room.
So it's 100 square feet.
Okay.
I'm usually the math person. Okay.
So figure that out for how many people in that one room then.
Well, let's say it's a 3 bedroom just to make it easy.
No, I'm just saying it's 10 by 10.
Yeah.
It's 100 divided by 22.
100 divided by 22, that's like what? 5-ish? And it's like 5. Because 100 divided by 20 is 5.
So just think about that though. That's not, obviously they're going to have way more than that many people per room.
Yeah.
But just saying like just 5 people based on that in a room is a shit ton of people.
Yeah.
So imagine how many people would have to actually occupy 1 bedroom to fit that many people in a house. Okay. And I'm sure it wasn't like a huge mansion.
When I was in
maybe it was, but
no, probably not. when I was in Hearts and Shadows, and we all lived together down in Spring Valley. It was over off the 94 East, like Spring Street, like that area. Or no, College Grove area. Like, you know where the College Grove, like shopping mall is right there, like 94 and College? That shopping center right there, literally right across the street. Like, if you went closer down to like where the 94 is, there's like this off street, and you go back around, there were these like fucking shitty little apartments that were there, and we called it Unit G, or the G unit, or the G spot. And it was me, my girlfriend at the time, Bixby, his girlfriend at the time, Alan was our bass player, no girlfriend, Matt, his girlfriend at the time, Ricky, his girlfriend at the time. We had 9 people in one apartment.
And how many bedrooms?
3.
That's not terrible.
I
though.
slept in the kitchen and had my own quarantined off little area.
Why'd you have a kitchen, babe?
Because I wanted to have my own little spot. I didn't want to
slept in the
sleep in a
kitchen?
room. Yeah, it was like the dining room area.
Oh,
I just took the dining room. I didn't sit next to the stove. I mean, it got
you
really
made it sound like you slept on like the tile floor next to the refrigerator.
No, I mean, it was tile floor, but I had a futon on it, and so and I put like cabinets or like bookshelves up to like kind of quarantine it off, and we put like our speakers from like our show like around it, so I had a fort. I was a fucking 18 or 19-year-old with a fort, okay? You, for judging, but you're fucking jealous that you got to build a fort at 19 with your friends in a party house. Just saying. Don't do that judgeful act. No, it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible. Yeah, it was crazy. It was Ricky and his girlfriend Elise, and that was a shit show. Matt and his ex-wife, or girlfriend at the time, Christy, and then me and my ex-girlfriend. It was the 6 of us. Yeah, the 6 of us shared one bathroom.
Ugh. Well, I mean, I guess that's no different than dorms.
Well, yeah, exactly, but it's just like, you know, I mean, I guess dorms were probably crazy too, but there was a pair of like neon green panties on the floor for literally 3 months, and no one picked it up. And I didn't want to cause all this drama because of the drama that had already happened between Ricky.
I would have picked him up with a stick and thrown him out the front door.
Yeah, but then again, I was dirty as fuck too, never showered, I didn't really care. Oh. I'm a lot different of a person now, within reason. But no, I don't know where that story was going. Oh yeah, we got our window shot out by drive-by BB gun shooting.
A BB gun shooting?
It was, and it was directly over my head. I literally bent down, went bing, straight over my head. You could see the hole where it popped through the window and went into the house. Yeah, and we moved out a month later.
Oh, so wait.
I don't know where that was going.
Well, like that many people in one house.
Oh,
like
yeah.
90 people?
90 people.
So
Crazy.
So let's just say you were just gonna have people sleeping just in the bedrooms. Let's just say there was 3 bedrooms. So really you're gonna have like 33 people in a bedroom?
Yeah, if it was just bedrooms, it would be 30 per bedroom. And now
They're
let's
literally
say,
lined up like Chipotle burritos.
yeah, I mean you could do like 20, 20, 20, 20, and then a couple. And
Well, like here, like this room is a standard size room in a cookie cutter house. Imagine that many people
with everything taken out of it. I mean, you could fit
I mean, and that's like
1, 2,
that's
3,
like
4,
no
5 right
furniture.
there. Yeah, no beds, just literally blankets on the floor, pillows.
Oh my god! So did they determine they were all illegals?
I didn't read more
Probably.
into the story because I was in the middle of reading like 80 things. But
I heard that's what's happening though. Like it's not illegals; it's just people like unemployed and they lose their houses, so they're all family is just all living together.
yeah, I mean it's sad. I mean it, sucks, but I mean it's still not.
Otherwise known as the typical Mexican family.
You're allowed to do that now. You're married.
I'm an Avina now, so it works. Damn, that's a lot of people in the house.
It's a little extra. I mean, I think.
Plus, I didn't know if it was like a temporary holding area.
Yeah.
For okay, pay your coyote, and then.
I mean, it could have been completely. I mean, they're looking at.
All right, we need all the girls. We're gonna round you up.
What I did.
Get in this van.
What I do remember from, I think it was a little like a video or like whatever, they were saying that they're looking into possibly like sex trafficking stuff with that. And it's
for sure.
I don't know. It's just, to me, the whole immigration thing is if we just keep letting them in like that and allowing the coyotes to, to do this and have them in this situation, we're just asking for more possibility of sex trafficking. Yeah,
but at the same time, now that we're getting so populated everywhere, that people are gonna notice when stuff's up and call. I'm sure a neighbor called in.
Yeah.
Is why they got caught.
Yeah, but then at the same time, people are, doxing people and, going to people's houses and doing all this stuff. People are protesting and, whatever. And so some people are scared.
I'd be the first one to call in. I'd go down to the sheriff's station and be like...
I was just saying some people.
Yeah.
Not saying us.
We've got a shit ton of people living next door to me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I'd be like, dude, come on. There's nowhere...
The amount of spying we do on our neighbors, we still feel like... Have you seen them?
Oh, across the way?
Yeah.
No. Okay.
So we think someone died.
Okay. So I'm pretty sure...
Want to do a drive-by tonight? No. See if there's any lights on.
A little drive-by.
No.
Lay some pepper spray. Okay, so I know we've talked about it on the podcast before. It's been 1 week? About a week since we've heard anything. Actually, so it's good.
It's actually you. I wasn't partaking in the spying action.
I'm definitely the neighborhood busybody. I sit at that window.
I know, you have a good perch. You sit on your perch.
Mm-hmm.
That's why when we get a house... Here, I'll go on that a little later.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll circle back around to house hunting.
We'll circle back. Okay.
But yeah, what did you see? What happened?
Okay, so we've talked about it before. It's the ones across the way. When we told the story about gay Joe Rogan and the finger in the dog's butt, when the dog fight, not just a random Joe Rogan sticking finger in a dog's butt. That whole situation, the dog that fingered dog was trying to kill.
The dog fingered another dog?
No, the dog that got fingered, the one that was penetrated.
Oh, the DAWG fingered the DOG.
Yes. No, I'm saying the dog that got fingered was killing another dog. That's kind of where I went with it, but I think fingered just threw me off.
I get all that coffee.
Thank you. So no, the dog that was getting killed, a little Chihuahua, or that was, getting wrestled to the ground, and the Chihuahua jumped the fence from those neighbors. So basically, they're across the way at all hours of the day, doesn't matter what time it is, that bitch will fucking scream for no reason. It's a little annoying. And so we have for months said that she's gonna kill him.
That's creepy. I know.
I thought I just heard a noise from their dog or something. But anyways, so we've said, hold on. Okay, it just moved over the screen. It looked like it deleted everything. Sorry. Anyways, so we...
Pause.
Yeah. Pause what?
Thought I heard some weirdness going on outside.
No, I think we're good.
Okay.
But yeah, no, so we have heard, and we've been talking about it so many times, like, she's gonna kill him. She's gonna shoot him. Like, there's no way, like, the amount of times that he's been like, shut up, leave them, get out. Like, because she just screams at him, and then finally he's like, dude, stop. Like, what the fuck? Like, she's crazy. I'm pretty sure that she left the door open. One of their dogs got out and probably got killed by a coyote, because I hadn't seen that dog again. I saw a new dog. It wasn't the same one. And the night that happened, they were both like running around everywhere around here and trying to find the dog, and like he was super distraught about it, and like I fucking felt bad for him, and like he is fucking screamed at by this obviously irresponsible fucking bitch. And so anyways, we think that she's gonna kill him, and so we heard it sounded like a gunshot, like it wasn't one of those fucking fucking shitbox Civics or whatever from that meme with the fucking kazoo. Yeah, it wasn't like a muffler pop, like backfire or anything. It wasn't like that. It sounded like a fucking gun. And verifiably, I was watching crazy police chases and whatever, but I was watching it with it in my earphone, and I always like, if I hear something like that, I always like back up the video that I was watching to see if it was a sound in the thing, because I'm pretty good at like noticing like, oh no, I heard that before, like that was the exact sound, the exact tone, whatever. And so like I listened back, I said no, and I was like, okay, but I burped. Hold on, let me listen back to it one more time. I couldn't help it. And then so when I listened back to it, I'm like, oh no, that was real. That was a pop. And I don't know. Haven't seen anything.
I haven't either.
I have not.
And when we're done here, I want to actually look at our windows, like go into the gym where it's dark and look out the window and see if they have lights on.
Okay.
Because honestly, I don't think I've seen lights.
I haven't seen lights. I've seen that like under the counter light, that kind of iridescent, like I've seen that, like maybe that's left on, but that's weird because I haven't seen, and I sit right there and I work all night, and I don't really hear anything. Like I hear Old Man Winters across the way, working with his shirt off outside.
They keep adding more and more stuff to the backyard.
It's cool though.
Yeah, I don't know about how many of you guys actually watch your neighbors, but people are interesting.
They are interesting.
So, so we have the people that possibly murdered each other.
Yep.
Then the house over, we call him Old Man Winters. Mm-hmm. I saw his wife once.
Yeah, I've seen her once.
And she came out when take out the mic. So a week prior to the possible gunshot, mm-hmm. You were not here. I was here, and it's possibly early April, and some shit was going on in that house, and actually that Old Man Winter's wife come out, and she stood over by the fence.
Just
listening. And I was in the gym, and I was all, she heard craziness too.
So it's not just us.
Yeah, so I was like, dang, something's going down right now. Yeah. And then you heard, So there's Old Man Winters. He's always working on his backyard. He's probably like
65.
Yeah. He's got like the saggy titty, like man titties going on. Like he's skinny.
And his skin's a little leathery because of being in the sun. You remember There's Something About Mary, the old woman?
Yes.
Like halfway there.
Yeah.
Halfway
So he has an ET body. So the little skinny legs, the little skinny arms, and like the little belly. But he's like leathered. And not weathered, leathered, because he probably doesn't wear sunscreen, and he's got all the little liver spots everywhere, but he's like super tan because he just wears his same khaki colored shorts outside. It bothers me that he still hasn't done the right side of his yard.
Yeah.
That's been dirt forever.
Like our right side or his right
Our right side.
So over there,
So between the murder house and
he
his
probably
house.
won't get shot.
Like that, I'm like, dude, I want to be like, hey, we can put sod down.
Like, dude, you're watering the other side. What are you doing?
But I mean, like, he has not added flowers all along, which looks really nice.
You should talk to your mom about succulents.
I know. So they're cool, they're quiet. And when we had Gonzo, he'd make comments about Gonzo when I take him out in the morning.
He's big.
Yeah. Yeah, I think he's nice. And then the house to the left of that, I call it the crack house. And I'm going to call the city on them just because...
Trap house.
Yeah, it's weed abatement time out here. So for all you who don't know what that is, I work in city government, so this is like our normal weed abatement time. It just means that we're kind of like partnered with the fire department, making sure that people's properties are all mowed and
Just because this whole area,
Yeah.
there's already been a little
Fire
couple
hazards.
fires and stuff.
so basically you get a notice from the city stating weed abatement time, the annual time, just make sure your property's kept up. It's usually when people have like more just land, not a house on it, because it's all just an empty lot with overgrown weeds, which can be a fire hazard. And what's happening though with this house, it's that we see the backyards, and the backyard is all dead brush. Fire hazard.
Yeah.
Like that'd be crazy.
So just everyone go and pick the weeds like your parents used to make you do when you were a kid, unless you're
Well, they don't water. This is like dead tumbleweed backyard.
Yep.
But the people to either side of them have nice lush green.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Old Man Winters and the people that always throw the parties on the other side.
They're loud as fuck, and you think they're fighting, but they're just loud and drunk.
Yeah, I think they would both get out their hoses. Luckily.
Oh yeah. Oh
and
yeah,
then
for sure.
and then Peggy that lives across the way. If she has her hearing aid in.
Talking about Debbie Does Dallas?
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't heard her
I
listening.
know. She watched the whole show. She got through it.
She got through it.
She.
I
still
did see
doesn't
her
know what
waddle
happened
down
in
to
JR.
get her on her newspaper, her mail. So she's alive.
Yeah. No, I've seen her a couple
Yeah.
times. She walks around. People go, "Well," but it's like the UPS or Amazon delivery or whatever. You can tell like he's like, "Oh hey," and he comes around.
Yeah,
delivers
she gets
stuff.
food delivered.
And you can tell that they're like always back. I'm like, oh yeah, yeah, for sure. She's like continually trying to have a conversation with them as they're walking away.
Yeah, like now.
They're like, yeah, but I have like 80 other old women that I need to deliver to that are exactly like you to have a conversation with. So
Yeah. But we
I hit my
today
head today.
today let me see. There's a
good?
bump there still. At least it's not bruised.
Right there.
But today is the first day of our final lease contract with this place,
It is.
which is 2 years, which
2 more
sounds like
years.
a lot, but
I know.
it'll go by quick.
Yep. And by
And then-
2 years from now, Till Death Studios will, the studios.
So maybe that's what it'll be. We'll move into our compound at that point, because who knows what the housing market's going to be like in 2 years.
The Till Death Studios compound.
Yeah.
And which I
TDSC.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like the high school.
Yeah, TDSC.
TVHS.
TVHS, yeah. I'm a little close there.
That's funny.
No, TDS. You know, it's the acronym has been lately, right? Trump Derangement Syndrome.
Oh God.
You just realized that now, didn't you? I think it's funny to me. This is like a little Easter egg. It's like, in the Marvel movies where they put like, a little...
I think that's what's in office right now.
What?
Derangement syndrome.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, no, it's more like, I can't really, it's Alzheimer's, there's something wrong with him, right?
Oh,
Can we
yeah.
all agree that there's something cognitively wrong with that?
Biden has gone downhill.
Dude, well, he's not good at going uphill either.
And Kamala is going to push him downhill.
Yeah, exactly. Well, she's like, I don't even have to, I just push him going up the stairs and I will get him.
The best thing that could happen is that she accidentally takes a fall. And then we don't have to worry about her anymore.
Yeah,
And then
but
we
then
could
you know who it is after her?
Who?
Pelosi.
Seriously?
Biden.
Shit, I didn't think about that.
Pelosi.
I didn't think about that.
So,
Okay, both of them could go out. Pelosi's old.
yeah, she's
The crypt keeper.
EG.
She's the crypt keeper. So the crypt keeper, it needs to be a Diana story where crypt keeper and camel toe are in a vehicle getting chased by the paparazzi,
See, exactly.
and then they go in a tunnel and they don't come out alive.
Where's go? Oh, the thing.
Yeah, the coffin.
Huh?
I don't know. This is a weird time and a poor state of affairs for this country.
All I have to say is this is the first president, definitely in our lifetimes, to say
nigger here next. Carrying Nazi fags. The great Negro at the time, pitcher in the Negro leagues. All these truths to be self-evident. All men and women created by you know the thing. No man has a right to raise a hand to a woman in anger. And so we have to just change the culture, period. And keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. Poor kids are just as bright and just as talented as white kids.
I'm retarded.
You're a lying dog-faced pony soldier. Play the radio. Make sure the television, make sure you have the record player on at night. And the kids used to come up and reach in the pool and rub my leg down so it was straight, and then watch the hair come back up again. They'd look at it. So I learned about roaches. I learned about kids jumping on my lap. And I've loved kids jumping on my lap. Thank you, Dr. Pepper, and thank you, Chancellor, or Dr. Paper. Choose unity over division. We choose science over fiction. We choose truth over facts. Regard to the filibuster, I believe we should go back to a position of the filibuster that existed just when I came to the United States Senate 120 years ago. You got more questions, but I tell you, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. What you all know, but most people don't know, unlike the African-American community, with notable exceptions, the Latino community is an incredibly diverse community. Willing to let the American public judge my physical and mental as well as my mental fitness. President Trump and the demagogues around the world, but if Donald Trump is reelected, he doesn't want to shed light. He wants to generate heat, and he's stoking violence in our cities.
Dwight, you ignorant slut!
I come from, you don't get far unless you ask. My name's Joe Biden. I'm a Democratic candidate for the United States Senate. Look me over. If you like what you see, help out. I'm a nominated Democrat, a lifelong Democrat, a proud Democrat, an Obama Democrat. Sure enough.
An Obama Democrat.
And, there was, I think that the former senator I heard that familiar voice, you know what I mean, just spoke. Well, he's right about one important thing.
butthole.
Why attack Sanders? Why? You're getting nervous, man. COVID has taken this year, just since the outbreak, it's taken more than 100 years. Look, here's the lives. When you think about it. You know, the rapidly rising I don't know.
I'm retarded.
I just spoke at Dartmouth on healthcare at the medical school, or not. I guess I wasn't actually on the campus, but the people from the medical school were at the. I want to be clear. I'm not going nuts. I'm not sure whether it was a medical school or where the hell I spoke, but it was on the campus. I propose, and I'm going to digress slightly. We're in a situation. I took on Putin in terms of Iraq. In terms of what was going on in Ukraine. By strengthening, by investing $100 billion in education, in global warming efforts. It's a whole range of things. We can't afford it by just beginning to treat reward work as much as wealth. Get your work straight, Jack. Look, here's the deal. I'm not voting for you. Well, I knew you weren't, man. You think I thought you'd stand up and vote for me? You're too old to vote for me. I'm not sedentary. I get up and no, let him go. Let him go. Look, the reason I'm running is because I've been around a long time and I know more than most people know. And I can get things done. That's why I'm running. And you want to check my shape on, let's do push-ups together here, man. Let's run. Let's do whatever you want to do. No, I haven't taken a test. Why the hell would I take a test?
I'm kind of retarded.
Come on, man. That's like saying before you got in this program, if you take a test where you're taking cocaine or not, what do you think, huh?
Damn.
Are you a junkie? We have to eliminate the funding gap that exists between minority white and majority white and non-white districts.
We already have a nigger mayor. We don't need any more nigger big shots.
Carrying Nazi flag. Nigger here, next.
And no one says anything.
No. I mean...
Oh, he's just old Joe.
You're like, well then why is he running our fucking country?
Something's gonna happen. He's gonna be like, oh yeah, he's gonna be like Groot and push the button.
Yeah.
Oh, push the red button.
I am Groot?
Yeah.
Come on, man. That's his I am Groot. Come on,
Just
man.
do it. Him and Nike can partner up on that.
It's crazy. And you know, it's crazy too because there's people on the other side, opposite of all the crazy, like the whole leftism stuff, and it seems culty. The wokeism stuff, everything
Seems absolutely absurd right now.
bonkers. And I mean, not gonna say that there aren't some crazies on the right.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you. Okay, my mom had.
I gotta say crazies on the right. You're like, so speaking of.
Yeah. Well, okay. So there was that guy that's running for governor in California, or going to run. Republican.
Are you talking about Caitlyn?
I can't remember his name, and remember he liked some of our posts.
Oh.
What was his name? And we were looking at what his stance was.
Yeah.
I can't remember what his name was, but my mom recently.
You said something?
Well, she posted something on Facebook about a guy that's running. It was a black gentleman, and I can't remember his name, and I thought maybe it might be the same guy. And he's running Republican, and she's backing him. She really wants him.
She does?
Yeah. And I can't remember if it's the same guy.
I'm trying to find him right now. I know. Hey guys, we here at Still Death Podcast realize that with everything opening up, you might need some new clothes to show off in public. It's scary, I know. But you can rest assured that we've got your back. We have high quality merch and fair prices so you can support your new favorite podcast without breaking the bank. We have a bunch of items to choose from, like this shirt, which is my personal favorite. Oh, it's upside down. See, we got this. Play stupid games, win stupid prizes. Or, also, this one for the ladies. For my lady, and punch myself in the balls. There we go, it's our old paint splat shirt. We also have tanks, sweatshirts, hoodies, stickers, yoga pants, beach towels, and even fanny packs. Like this one right here. So just head over to teespring.com/stores and use the promo code NOMOREMASK and you'll get 15% off your entire order. That's No More Mask for 15% off. So what are you waiting for? Just do it. Just do it. Go get one. They're awesome. Do it. Also, head over to solo.to/tilldeathpodcast for all things Till Death and how to stay up to date with all of our content. Babe, thought laundry was your job.
Get all this merch out of my house.
See what I mean?
So
Yeah.
I didn't know it was the same guy. I can't remember his name.
The black guy. And
The one black guy running under Republican for California.
you say that black guy, and then I get a notification that Poopy Sanchez sent a text.
Oh, did you get that comment, by the way? I didn't read it. From some guy wanted to send us a message on Instagram.
Oh, I didn't read the message.
Me neither.
We're so good at that stuff. I'm trying to find him. That computer's tripping me out because it keeps.
I was trying to see. We were trying to read what all
there it is.
what all his views were.
Nicholas Wildstar, Governor Wildstar. He is 2022 Republican California governor candidate, libertarian speaker, raptivist, mentor, and father.
I don't know if that was the same guy
Well, it's the same guy that was on our Instagram.
that we were talking about, but that my mom had posted about. She really likes.
Yeah, I mean, he's sharing some pretty
Yeah, I
insightful
for the
things.
most part, I like what I've seen so far, what he's putting out there.
Yeah, I mean, he randomly liked us, so I mean, that's pretty cool. Oh, did you hear that they're banning menthol cigarettes?
Why?
I don't know. Probably because Democrats are actually racist, but, you know, no one wants to call them on it.
Yeah, because the statistics on that is that more of the black community smokes menthol.
Yeah, 80% or kids.
Oh, okay. That could actually be what it is.
No, it's because black people, but...
Oh, yeah, and where have I been? I didn't know you had to be 21 to smoke a cigarette.
Yeah, it's been like that since, for like 2 years.
Really?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah. No, I think it's smart. I mean,
Well, I think... Banning menthols, really?
Yeah.
Are you sure it's not? Just wait. Are cloves still legal?
Yeah. No, it's Biden. Did anyone think that Biden wasn't going to be that guy? He's the guy that, you know, said. And it's funny.
People are going to be like.
That's how he talks too. He's like, I'm the guy that did this. Yeah, you're the guy that said you ain't black unless you vote for him. You're the guy that said you didn't want to live in a racial jungle. You don't want your kids to grow up in a racial jungle. You literally, in the Senate, said...
We already have a mayor. We don't need any more big shots.
But, like, how are you... How are you surprised?
I don't know.
It's crazy. Anyways, okay, so back to the studios. Because I think that's what we were talking about.
Yeah, the house. So we're going to circle back around to that. So the compound.
Yes.
So... Yeah, I was saying, like, I don't know what the housing market is going to entail in 2 years because it's absolutely absurd right now in California. So...
Well, but at the same time, a lot of people are leaving because of Newsome, who got recalled. Kind of excited about that. I don't know about you, but he's getting recalled. He goes to the vote, right?
Yeah. I don't know how that works with governor recall.
I think it now goes to a vote, and then when they vote, we could have Caitlyn Jenner.
And
I'm confused on it.
I mean, we've had Arnold Schwarzenegger, so...
I know, but like...
We've had the Terminator.
Well, she terminated something. She actually terminated a life.
Yeah.
Before she became
I don't know.
Caitlyn.
So, yeah, I get a lot of people are leaving. I know a lot of people are leaving the state, but the people that are still here are moving to our area. I was reading something today that was posted up on the patch.
Well, we are a safe area too.
Yeah, and actually our city is still ranked, I think, number 1 or number 2 safest cities.
I'm going to cut that part out so no one hears it and comes to Marietta.
Yeah. So people were, because they were talking about, there's an area in Marietta, I think on the east area. I don't remember which section, but there's no houses there, and they're voting to put in 520 new homes. And people are saying no. They're voting no.
Yeah.
Because they said, we do not want any more people living here. And I get that, but at the same time, we need homes.
Yeah, like the people that are here need to, like...
I don't know. I get it.
I get it, but I don't. You know, it's like, but that's life. Nothing's ever going to be perfect. There's nothing that you're going to get perfectly exactly what you want. You're going to have to
I think what we're trying to do with our Tilda Studios is, like, we're really trying to grow that brand this year. You know, we've kind of had been forced to change or kind of speed up that process.
Yeah.
And
but sometimes that's what you get your ass in gear, get a little kick in the ass.
So we're working on that now to make that successful. In 2 years it'll be like normal, like ordering the swing of things.
Exactly.
And then we can figure out if we're staying here, if we're leaving California, what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I mean, we kind of talked about it a little bit before, but the only things keeping us here right now is my job and our family.
Yeah, but if we can amass enough money from Tilda Studios, I mean, when we do, then we can go wherever the fuck we want.
Yeah,
you know,
sure.
Like, so, but I personally would like to, obviously have some sort of studio or editing something in our house, you know, and whatever, but I ultimately would like to have a separate Tilda Studios like that. I
think it'd be better to have an offsite, on the property, but offsite, off the main house, because if we have people coming in and out, I don't want them coming in and out of the house.
Actually doing podcasts and actually doing like Tim Pool, which I don't think you've seen too much. He's the guy with the beanie and the glasses, and he's very nerdily smart, but he's like kind of like a journalist. He was the guy that was on that Joe Rogan with the head of Twitter or the CEO of Twitter or whatever. And he was kind of putting him to the but anyways, he skates also. He's a journalist. He skates. He was there during all the Occupy Wall Street shit and like all that and the protests. And he has a whole like house and a bunch of land and stuff. And it's got like literally has a warehouse where he just put a fucking skate park in it, and just people come over and they'll just like skate around. Just like big dumb
sounds
stuff.
like that. Rob.
Rob Big, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like kind of like that, but and he's just starting to do like little vlogs and stuff like that, so you kind of see. But he didn't want to do it for a while because a lot of people were like trying to dox him or come there because he says some things that the wokies don't really like and all that stuff. So like he had Alex Jones on his podcast.
And there you go. You're a target with him.
He had the head of the Proud Boys on his podcast too, and the Enrique Tarrio guy or whatever. So yeah, he's definitely done some things, but then again, I think it's just they don't like hearing things that they don't want to hear, that they don't agree with, so they try and cancel him. That Jordan Peterson guy that I was telling you about, like he seemed pretty reasonable. Like when I love Jordan Peterson, so I know he's a pretty reasonable guy. You can disagree with me, whatever, tell me in the comments, but you can't. I was listening to him for inspiration while I was in the shower. I was trying to pump myself up or whatever, and I was just jerking it.
I happened to walk by and I was like, at first, because I told you he sounds like on like a Christian talk radio, like someone that has because he has like really great voice, and so it sounds like someone that's like, and the Lord.
And you're like, why are you watching a church sermon in a shower?
Totally. And I was like listening to
No, but he's a pretty reasonable dude. He's just very, he's really big on men's mental health, and especially with a lot of stuff going on right now. Because with any, with the Me Too movement and a lot of stuff going on, with that, there's always going to be, collateral damage. There's always going to be an effect on a community or effect on a group of people or whatever, because everyone goes after the bad part, the negative part of that community, and then everyone is painted with that brush. So because there's a couple of dudes that were, dickheads and fucking cunts, then all guys suck. And so he's basically like, no, obviously there's bad people, but you gotta, it's more, he talks a lot about like the newer, I guess it's the third wave feminists, I guess it's like this new,
there's another group of them.
Well, because it's changed. Feminism over time is definitely
it started with let's burn our bras to
it started with
men are evil to
exactly. It started with women's rights, a push for women's rights, women's suffrage.
Oh, okay. So let's see. We'll do women need to vote. Then it became the burning of our bras.
Yeah.
Now then it was like, like the glass ceiling, breaking that. Then now men are evil.
Yeah. And there's a gender pay gap. No.
Glass ceiling.
Yeah, but now, no. You work at HR, right?
Yeah, but it's different because where I work, we're a union. So we have a standard set. Here are the salary steps for this exact position.
Yeah.
We're government. We're not a private entity which has more free range on what you pay people.
Yeah.
Ours is, okay, if you're going to be hired for this position, you can here's the range that you can get paid, and it doesn't matter who you are, that's the range that you get paid. So I guess within that range, people could argue, well, he started at step 4 on the range, where she started at step 2 on the range.
Yeah.
So I guess there is still room for pay gap, but not really, because that's not even a consideration. It's literally like,
no, it's
what's your
literally
experience? What's, you know what I mean? Like, it's not even a thought. Like,
it's literally illegal to discriminate based on race, gender, sex, age, national origin.
I guess that still happens, but it's
on
just
every application.
It's everywhere in your face. But I mean, it's just weird. Yeah, it's, to me, we're so far beyond that it's hard to even imagine people.
Why are you bringing that
still
up? Yeah. And you know, and that's a big thing too, because you know, I've told you plenty of times that whenever I you know, obviously I hear something, or you know, whatever, and like if I hear from someone that I trust, then you know, I'll believe it and I'll kind of talk about it, whatever. But for the most part, if I want to know about something, I try and do as much research as I can, and not just watch this one video, watch another video from, you know, the other side, the opposition or whatever, or I try and involve myself in that kind of, you know, because, you know, obviously with the cops and, you know, the racism issue and like all this stuff going on and saying that cops are just gunning down black people. They're not. I'm not saying that doesn't happen, but the like the numbers and the statistics are just not there comparatively when it comes to everyone else. Like, I mean, obviously, if there's more crime committed by one type of person, we don't have to say race, or, you know, male or female, whatever. Like, obviously, if there's more crime committed by that one section of people, then there's probably going to be more instances where there's something that involves a firearm, right? I'm just saying, just basic fucking odds and like statistics like that. That's just makes sense. So why don't we address the crime issue? Then it won't lead to this issue. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, but that's what they're trying to do right now. Like again, with this whole crack thing we were watching, you know, they're taking it back to the roots of everything, saying, okay, well, it's only it's affecting the inner city crowd more. And that one gentleman said, oh, well, inner city, blacks and Hispanics.
Yeah.
So they're saying, oh, okay, well, these people are all the lower class. They're, you know, they're unemployed. They're using food stamps. So they're, again, saying it goes back to them being an underprivileged population. And that's where it all stems from, an underprivileged population, an undereducated population. You know, and that's what they're trying to do with all of this, saying that the blame is on the person in power at the moment. So, like they were saying with Reagan, that his whole platform was to get the American people out of poverty, and I think that, and I don't quote me on this, because I kind of was a little confused on that one lady that had like red pants or whatever she was saying. That was his platform. He had hope, make America great again. And then it ended up being the reverse of that. Did I hear that right? In that there ended up being more people
I'm just
in
saying
poverty?
It was a Netflix original.
No, I know,
so
but
owned by Obama. So you know, so I'm just saying there's going to be that slant.
But I mean, is that what she was saying?
Basically, and okay. So you're just basically saying that just because of this program, that's the government's just going to do it for you? No, you have to do it for yourself. Like they're going to give you the step. They're going to give you the training wheels. They're going to help you get to that position, and then you get your job and you work and you get out of it.
But I think that's kind of what they're saying with all of this, like the police issue, the crime issue. They're saying that everyone is unfairly targeted because it's that undereducated, underprivileged population, which just happens to be blacks and Hispanics.
Well, I mean, then if that's the case, then you have to sit there and you have to look.
You need to address that issue.
You have to address that issue. Okay, so there's that issue. Okay, well, let's look at the similarities to other populations of people that have not every so every population is, or every section of people is gonna have their fuck ups. Everyone's gonna have the black sheep, obviously. And I'm not saying that as a black sheep like race thing. I'm, the term ugly duckling. There we go. Sorry to the ugly people out there. No. So there's gonna be, obviously there's good and bad in every race and every gender and every whatever. Fuck, where was I going with that? God damn it.
Come on, man.
You just totally pulled the Bible.
I did. No, I mean, obviously, you gotta address. Oh, that's where I was going. Sweet. So basically, you have to address. Okay, so if you're trying to address this question, and it's still, you still have questions about it. You understand? Okay, so like we have. So black and brown people, right? They're the ones who are affected by this, right? Okay, and they have this certain type of lifestyle, this, lower class, or not saying that all black and brown people are lower class. I'm just saying, according to this documentary.
Yeah.
I don't want to get fucking killed over this. But like, so if that's the case, well then let's not only look at, because everyone just wants to say, oh, it's the systemic racism, it's the system's problem, it's the government's fault. But then you want to let government run your life and pay for everything, right? Okay, so let's just go past that. But you're saying it's the system's problem. No one reasonable is saying is looking at some sort of personal accountability, you don't gotta, obviously some sort of system's gonna be, if it's fucked up, yeah, it's gonna have an effect, but you have to look at your own personal accountability and your own decisions. Like there were a couple people in that crack documentary. I'm sorry, can't say it straight. There's a couple people in that crack documentary. One was saying, oh yeah, I just went to the streets and started selling drugs to pay for my family and whatever. Mm-hmm. I was a pot dealer when I was younger. I didn't do it to feed a family. I did it because I was a dumb fucking teenage kid, and then like kind of in my 20s a little bit, and like just trying to make some extra money. I wasn't trying to feed my family. If I ended up having a kid and do it, I wouldn't be a drug dealer. I would get like an honest job and like try, you know what I mean?
But the whole point that was being made is that was back in the 80s.
Yeah.
So the guy said the commercials at that time were the McDonald's commercials, and it was showing a black kid that lived in the projects, and instead of joining a gang or whatnot, he got a job.
Yeah.
And so that kid that drug dealer was like, oh, then I want to be like that kid.
Yeah.
I want to get a job too. So as a high schooler, he got a job at McDonald's, but realized he was only making $3.35 or whatever it was, $3.75 for minimum wage.
Yeah.
And then after your taxes get taken out of that, barely making money, but then he saw how much more money he could make being a drug dealer, which I get it.
Yeah.
I remember working my first minimum wage job in high school, but I also never considered being a drug dealer.
Oh, no. I would have $2,000 in cash on me at any time. I would have fucking half a pound of weed on me at any time. Like, I understand about that life. Like, I literally went on the fucking trolley in San Diego to go sell weed with weed in my back. I wasn't making good choice, but I was a fucking kid, and I didn't have a son or a daughter that I was trying to raise.
No,
you know what I mean?
And I think that's kind of where it all stems, or where it all goes back to, is like the whole talk about, like the impoverished community and not having that support, father figure for most of it. So, okay, yeah, you growing up had the support. You had a good support of a family.
Yeah.
So you knew really right from wrong.
Yeah.
And knew what you were doing wasn't smart. So I'm just saying that people that decided to make choices like this, whether it's a choice to drop out of school, drop out, or not, join a gang, whatever it may be, become a drug dealer, they don't necessarily have the backing of a family because their mom might be one of their customers.
Yeah. And you bring up a good point too, because it's saying they like go to a gang or they go to this or they go to a life of crime or whatever because they don't have it at home, right?
Yeah.
The gang gives them that
Yes.
feeling of family.
Yes.
So maybe if you would stay with your fucking kids, then maybe they wouldn't branch out to that.
Well, not only that, I mean, like the one guy that was a drug dealer,
Yeah.
he was a teenager himself. And they said they were recruiting like junior high kids too. So I think like, and you know, I mean, that's where they said over and over again, it all starts with the family, you know, and that happens nowadays. If you see, maybe not to that extent, but you know, people that have like a broken home and they don't like, there may be violence going on at home or just an unhealthy family dynamic at home. And then the kid may make bad decisions.
Yeah.
And it's always that way in every household, you know?
I mean, my mom and my dad never got married, and my mom married my stepdad, and, you know, it wasn't perfect, but I at least had my dad and my mom in my life, and then I got the extra supplement of Ron, my stepdad, who's a great dude, but it wasn't perfect, and I still have some issues from it, so...
Can you admit, though, that maybe some of your choices that you made in life maybe came from having like the internal struggle dealing with like emotional stuff with your family?
Completely. I mean, you know, I mean, just wanted, like, me not finishing high school. That was like kind of like one, I want to play music and do that, and I won't need to know the square root of a G chord ever, so like, you know, whatever. But then also it was kind of like, yeah, fuck you. You know, it was just kind of like me being rebellious. That's kind of the way I've always been a little, you know, to a point. And so, you know, yeah, there were probably rebellious and, you know, little thoughts and stuff that I had and actions that I, you know, impulses and, you know, doing all that. I mean, of course, it's, you know, but.
So I think, like, I feel bad because I feel like, you know, it's unfortunate. You have so many families, you know, that so many kids that grow up without having the support of a family, like of an actual, like what a mother or a father figure should be, you know? So then they feel like they have to step up. They either have to raise their other siblings. They have to be the one to go out and make money so they can actually have the lights on in the house.
But if their mom would have just stayed with their dad,
but maybe it's not even that. Maybe it's just like this continual over and over and over.
Yeah, after generations of not putting any importance or stressing the importance of having a father in the household or whatever. Two dudes, two women, whatever. Two people in the house, two like influences in the house. Over generations of putting that down and kind of trying to do away with the nuclear family, then it's going to over time just be like, oh yeah, well, men are shit. Men don't matter. A woman can just have a baby and like do it on their own. I mean, yeah, but is it going to be really good for that kid, or is it going to perpetuate more down the line?
Well, no, it's not even that. I mean, I know plenty of women that like have perfectly normal children, high functioning children. Just, you know, they've been raised with just one parent.
Yeah.
But it just puts the pressure on that parent.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I'm not saying.
Parent.
That's why I'm not saying that it's not possible. I'm not saying that it's not been done.
That
I'm
one
saying
parent
that
works their ass off.
It just makes it that much more difficult, and there's gonna be some sort of a complex. Even if you don't mean to, even if you don't do everything to a T and raise that kid with all the morals and the respect and whatever. If you raise that kid right, there's still gonna be some complex about something with that.
Well, it's that you're still gonna have that, but then it's also about the influence, like the whole thing of our parents always telling us when we were younger, like, I don't want you hanging out with that person because they're a bad influence. Well, now, let's say you're in the neighborhood that's, you know, downtrodden and lots of unemployment, lots of bad influences, lots of drugs, whatever. Then yeah, you know, what if somebody does have a strong parent? They can do all that they can, but majority of the day the kid is outside that house with influences, you know what I mean? So it's difficult. There's so many dynamics that need to be addressed, and I don't think anyone knows how to deal with that right now.
No, and I think a big issue with it too is that you're not able to have a conversation about it without being labeled a racist if you're white talking about black issues. Oh, black people can talk about white issues, can call white people racist, can call all white cops racist and pig, whatever. You do whatever you want. But the second that someone who has a lighter skin complexion than someone who's black or who is not black, the second they talk about that.
Is that fine?
Huh?
Was that fine?
Yeah. The second that the second that anyone that has a lighter skin complexion than someone who's black, the second they talk about that, that's racist. Yeah. Even if it's just discussing the issues or questions. I mean, how are people who have a question about it, who have a concern, or who have some assumption, whether it be right or wrong, how are you going to explain to that person in an understandable way and somewhere where they can actually take away from the conversation, oh, okay, I was wrong, or oh, I didn't look at that. Don't scream at them. Don't yell and call them racist, because all it's going to do is be like, fuck you. That's literally what I'm going to do if you call me racist. Yeah, go fuck yourself.
I think where that comes from is people assuming that, well, not assuming, but just getting upset that you're trying to talk about them and their lifestyle, and as if we know better than them. I think that's what they're thinking. But I think one of the big influences that really helps with all populations is having more involvement with community centers, like rec centers and things like that. Like, for instance, the city I work for, we opened a new facility, a teen center. Unfortunately, it didn't get used last year. We just opened it last year, but like having that kind of stuff, it literally is like one whole room that just has like 10 60-inch TVs where kids come in. We have every gaming console known to man in there. Kids can come in after school, do their homework, go play games. They can all go in the other room and play games. Like, we're doing like a science STEM program so kids can come in and like have fun with learning. But it's I think communities need that kind of stuff.
But see, I agree too, but they're mostly already there. There's a lot of money that already goes into a lot of programs like that. And I know you can always have more and whatever. I get that. But if there's already been so much money put into these kind of systems and they've failed or they've not done their job, then why are we going to continue to put the money into the same programs? And why don't it also comes down to in the house, the personal accountability thing. You can only expect the government to do so much for you. I would never expect the government to do everything, and I would never expect it to do nothing for me. Obviously, it's there for a reason, but you have to have your own. You have to have your own responsibility for your own life and your choices.
Oh, I think too, it's an involvement with the community, and like kind of what's really stuck in my mind is we recently just hired a guy to come into our recreation center. He's coming from out of state, and in doing the interviews with him and checking with his references, one of the cool things that he did for this community is opening a new rec center. He said he worked in a community where there was a lot of a lot of poverty.
Okay.
And the community.
I thought you were gonna say potheads.
Yeah. The community really didn't want them to create any new rec center or anything like that because like this old decrepit thing was working for them or whatever. And this guy reached out to the community and got so involved with them to where it made such good friends with them. Like, he was invited to kids' birthday parties, he went to barbecues, and he talked with the community and like asked them like, what would you want? What would you think would be great for these kids? Mm-hmm. And this is the coolest thing ever. You know what facility they ended up opening? Their rec center. Mm-hmm. Like, when you think rec center, you think of the typical boys and girls basketball court, swimming pools. So what he ended up doing is their facility, which has all the normal cool rec stuff, basketball courts, all that. It has a recording studio.
Oh, that's awesome. So they learn a skill, they learn craft.
Well, Yeah, that was the whole point. The community said, you know what? We really think music is
awesome.
A great thing for our children to be involved in, and it keeps them off the streets, and it also perks their interest.
Yeah.
So it's not only just a recording studio for them to come in and, sing, it's for them to learn. They learn how to run all the boards.
Yeah.
Everything as junior high and high school students.
I would have loved that.
It's I don't remember how many rooms they have, but it's a multi-room studio.
Yeah.
And kids go in after school and sign up for the program, and they literally will be taught how to run a recording studio. How awesome is that?
I would have loved that.
So that guy, that was all his plan.
That's perfect.
So he is now coming to our city.
To do it here?
To do it here.
I'll help.
So, I don't know if he's going to do something like that, but like that those thoughts,
Yeah, that inspiration.
When I heard that, I'm like, that's amazing.
Yeah, that's like really cool. That's what people need. They need some,
It was just cool to have that good interaction with the community, gotten the community buy-in on it, and created this. And to this day, it's still a hit with the community.
It's awesome. You saying that about the recording studio and having like different little rooms and stuff like that, that brings us back to the little compound thing. That's what I would like to do on a compound. Obviously have our podcast studio decorated like us, like have our own little space, have the the room behind it, the for all the, I was about to say master room. The
masturbating room?
Come on, man.
Try to relax your anus.
Sorry, I had to find it. No, like the boardroom and like where they, the production room. There we go.
Okay.
And basically what I'd like to do is I'd potentially like to have like 2 or 3 of those.
Yeah.
To where we have our room, it never changes, that's us, unless we change it or whatever. Then either rent it out, or if Nick starts his own podcast or any of them do that, they can do it in that. You know what I mean? Like have it kind of like that, and rent it out. But still, I'd like it to be to someone that we know, or like someone a part of the Till Death Little Studios wing. And what I'd ultimately like to do is have the ability to tell my friends that they can quit their job and we can all work together and they don't got to worry about it anymore.
We can all live together on the compound, all drink the lemonade together.
And we all the Kool-Aid. I'll just make sure I spike it.
Lemonade better.
There we go. I'm pretty sure it would be Kool-Aid for me. I mean, I like lemonade, but if I have my options. But we just have different houses on the acreage. Acreage? Is that a word? Acreage.
It'll be like that one house that I found at the base of Mount Shasta. And it had like 3 houses on the property.
Yes. Like a helicopter pad.
The full separate billiards room, game room.
Mm-hmm. We definitely have a little either driving range or like
sure. We could have a driving range. I would like a little mini arcade to have some.
Would you rather have a driving range or like maybe just like 2 holes? I'd rather have 2 holes because a driving range is. Or 3. Yeah, 2 holes sound real gay. No, but I mean like just a little 2-hole course because it's probably gonna be the same amount of spot as a driving range, right? So if you have that. Then you have chipping and putting and all that in one instead of, you just fucking whack some balls.
Of 2?
You turn it into?
Front 9, back 9.
Front 1, back 1.
Yeah. No, I think it'd be cool. We're going to get that.
Yes.
So we're trying this new thing, trying to be positive.
Yes. So what I would like is to have multiple podcasting recording studios. I would like to have also an actual recording studio for a musician, for bands, because Till Death Studios, it's still ambiguous. So it can be film, it can be audio, it can be photography, it can be merch and production, it can be whatever it wants. Studio is just a studio. Everyone that sees our green screen thinks we do porn, so there we go.
Might as well.
Hit us up on onlyfans.com/podcast. No, I'm just kidding. Where you will see my feet. There we go. There's the crickets. But yeah, no, I think it would be cool to, have a little, little area. And I already talked to Dan, and you guys know Dan, which we still need to, get his bet going.
Oh my God.
We still haven't, and it's been too long. I'm so sorry, guys. There's been...
Ooh, there's sirens. Oh, they just stopped. Oh, no, they're going.
A little bit.
Okay.
I wanna go film it now.
I don't know though.
Anyways.
I don't know if I can give Dan that coloring book now because he's gonna take us to Hawaii.
Yeah, true. There's a chance that he might be in the Doge. He might be the Doge stepfather. Anyways, no. But what I would like to do is I would like to be able to have him do all the Tilda Studios web design, and for the whole company. So if we have clients and we have this and that, I want to be able to have him to be able to do website design and more technical aspect type of thing. He's an engineer, very smart. I mean, he's a complete dumbass, but he's very smart. And so I would like to utilize that and pay him well for it. And with Nick, I'd like to have him there as a punching bag. So like, hey, you know what? I'm just kidding. Obviously, we'll have you, do something, probably like lift heavy things, and hey, we'll have him do the
Wear
merch.
fanny packs.
We'll have him do.
He can model.
Well, yeah, he'll be our model, and but he can do all the apparel and the merch and stuff,
Okay.
and all the printing like that. Well, that'd be cool. But even if you were my punching bag, I would pay you generously, so I could make
Be a high-priced bag.
ball bag. Anyways,
Come on, man.
but yeah, so I'm pretty good on this one. I think we.
Let's go get some dessert.
Yes, let's go get dessert, which means I'm gonna sit down for 20 minutes because I need to poop. I do need to poop.
All right, let's wrap it up.
See how I did that?
Yeah.
I didn't even look. I just.
Come on, man.
Oh, damn it! Okay, so before I hit all of the sound effects and completely annoy my wife, we're gonna get out of here. Thank you guys very much. I'm looking at all the cameras over here. Thank you very much, and I hope the picture's a little bit more quality for you guys. We got some new stuff, so let us know in the comments if you like it. If you don't, make sure you comment, like, subscribe, hit the bell, do all that stuff. Liking and commenting, it always helps out the algorithm, is what I hear. So I don't know, help us maybe jump onto the algorithm for once.
Just like hang on to the very tail end of it.
Place the hangman. What? I don't care. I'll hold on. I don't know why.
I don't know. That's weird.
That's the first thing I thought of. Oops. But yeah, no, we'll just do all that. Just a little support, a little cool stuff. Okay. Make sure you check out teespring.com/stores/tilldeathpodcast and go buy some merch. If you use the promo code NOMOREMASK, you'll get 15% off your entire order. So make sure you go do that shit. Just fucking do it. Because you need some fucking clothes to go out and show off. Just, public.
Pubic.
Penis. So make sure you do that. Also, if you want to go check out my Vibe Tribe, cool. So go check it out and give us a like, a subscribe. I don't know what's going on with that drink that I had, but I can't not burp while I'm talking right now.
So you gotta wrap it up.
Wrap it up.
You're terrible at saying goodbye.
I'm horrible at saying goodbye.
Get to the punchline.
Okay. Teespring.com. Also solo.to/tilldeathpodcast. We got a little thing up that has all of our links for everywhere. So I don't have to sit here for 20 minutes and explain everything. So go there, right here. Solo.to/tilldeathpodcast and get all your info. Go buy merch. Thank you guys. I love you, babe.
Love you.
See you later.
Peace out.
Try to relax your anus.
Hey guys, if you like this video, please subscribe and please watch video. It helps us out a lot because we offended all of our neighbors around our house and they hate us and they are now kicking us out. We are being evicted because we say bad things. Respect freedom of speech.